Hi, welcome to my channel where I talk about Spring Boot and Thymeleaf. In this video I will explain what ttcli is and why it's so useful for your Thymeleaf development. In my book Taming Thymeleaf I explain how to use npm to have a live reload setup for your Thymeleaf templates and CSS files. While it's not that hard to manually set up all the things, it's a lot easier when you use the ttcli tool. The tool is built using Spring Boot and Spring Shell and is compiled to native executables using GraalVM. Let's take a look to how the tool works. If you are on Linux or macOS, you can use Homebrew to install the tool. Just type brew install and wimdeblauwe /homebrew-ttcli/ttcli and install it. In my case, I already have it installed, so it will just give an error. You can see with ttcli version that I have it installed at the current version is 1.6.2. Now let's run ttcli init to get going. The first question you get asked is a group ID, similar to what you get on Spring Initializer website as well. Just type in what you want here. I'll use com.wimdeblauwe.examples, then the artifact ID, ttcli demo, for example, and then the project name. Next up, you select the Spring Boot version. Here you can select from 3.3.6, one of the new snapshot versions, or the current latest and greatest 3.4.0. Now the most important selection you need to make is what live reload implementation do you want to use. There's three options. There's npm based, DevTools based, or Vite. npm based is what I use in my books Taming Thymeleaf and Modern Frontends with HTMX. It uses a watcher to copy over any HTML, CSS, or JavaScript files that have changed. DevTools based is what you use if you rather not use npm to have live reloading. On the plus side, you don't need npm, but I find it to be the slowest to reload. The last option, Vite, is a fairly new option. It uses the Vite build tool and is currently my preferred choice. It's the fastest one, and it also unlocks some very nice options like altering web components or React components in a Spring Boot with Thymeleaf project. Let's select Vite. As a final selection, we can add some web dependencies. Here we can select Alpine, Bootstrap, and HTMX, for example, and they will all be added as webjars. I have a video on what webjars are and how you should use them, and I'll link to that below. Now the tool is generating the Spring Boot project, adding in all the npm scripts, the webjars, and everything. And when it's done, it is generated inside a directory with the name of the artifact we selected. Let's open it up in IntelliJ now. We have our project now open in IntelliJ. We have the pom.xml that you can see here. It uses Spring Boot 3.4.0. And we have some all the dependencies. We have our Vite Spring Boot Thymeleaf dependency for the Vite integration. We have the Thymeleaf layout dialect. And then here we have all our webjars. We have Alpine, which we selected. We have Bootstrap, and we have HTMX. Next, we have our Vite config file, which will use the Spring Boot Vite plugin to make it all the magic happen. And then we have our sources. We have the sources generated by the Spring Initializer. And then we have added the Thymeleaf templates. So this is the index.html, and it uses a layout file, here the main layout. And this one has the Vite setup. Let's make that a bit nicer. We have the Vite client and then the Vite entries, which is basically just our CSS for now, but you can add more. If you want to add extra JavaScript or things like that, you can add them there. And then we have the webjars, Bootstrap webjar, and the Alpine webjar, and finally the HTMX webjar. Now, to give a little demo of how this works, we can run npm run dev, and this will copy over the HTML files and start the live reload server. And then on the Java side, we need to run our application, and we need to run it using the local profile. If you don't have this IntelliJ version, you can also run that manually, and that's described in the help.md. You can use the command line, so use the command maven spring boot run and then specify the profile like this. Let's run the application now. And here we see at localhost 8080 our very simple Spring Boot with Thymeleaf application. Now let's go back, open up the index.html, and we can add some extra. Let's add a div, hello YouTube, and I will switch back, and as soon as I switch back, the file is saved by IntelliJ and it will push the live reload onto the browser. You can also see that we have, in fact, Bootstrap available. We can add a class, let's say, of mx4, like that, and it also updates immediately. And that is it for this introduction to ttcli. I hope you like the tool and it will make your work a lot easier to create new Spring Boots with Thymeleaf projects. Until next time, bye.